Hi, some of you guys wanted me to make another video about fighting. I'm going to be reviewing the video called The Most Dangerous Kung Fu Style Only Found in China. A subscriber of mine sent it to me. And at the end of this video, I will review a fight from King of the Streets.
When you think of Chinese martial arts, we all know what comes to mind. And I shouldn't be
That's true, but it's also because of Hollywood.
laughing. I trained this stuff for years. Not that. Traditional Chinese Kung Fu follows strict rules. Every movement is carefully choreographed.
Then you can already know that the fighting style is useless. It should never follow any rules.
Through centuries of refinement. It seeks to cultivate the body as well as the mind. But when it comes to efficiency and self-defense, an increasing number of people are starting to realize it's not working. Chinese martial arts are fake. You obviously haven't met this man yet. Sure, laugh all you want. Put him in bullshido compilations. But know this. What you're looking at is a modern fighting style so controversial, so effective, and so brutally pragmatic and unorthodox that it earned it the distinction the only martial art in post-1949 China with a legal count. I didn't want to believe it myself. I thought this dude is some joke. But what he has created has led to his students legally taking people's lives. In China, where even attempted murder or robberies can easily get you sentenced to death. Traditional martial artists scoff at him, but law enforcement and military personnel actively seek out his lessons. His name is Chen Hegao. His style, unlimited combat. Or as they call it on the streets, Mad Dog Fist. As my friend and I were researching the story, we were laughing and shaking our heads in disbelief in
Unlimited combat sounds natural.
equal parts. So sit back and enjoy the story of a man that deserves more recognition. The real Karate Kid. December 1962, Hangzhou, China. A skinny child named Chen Hegao is born into a world that shows him little mercy. Small for his age and constantly tormented by school bullies, 8-year-old Chen began teaching himself martial arts from comic books. Can you believe that shit? That is real desperation. By his teens, Chen joined his school's martial arts team, hoping traditional Kung Fu would protect him from daily beatings. Literally the Karate Kid plot. But unlike Xiao Dre, his faith in the traditional methods was shattered when he witnessed his own martial arts instructor, supposedly a master of mixed Xingyi Chen, being brutally beaten by 3 high school thugs. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you just use the snake mimic technique? What a loser. Chen then locked himself away, obsessively researching what truly works in real combat. This could have been the origin story of a Chinese Ras Al Ghul, but by age 23 in 1985, he had developed what he called close-range quick strike technique. And a year
Exactly, that's pretty much what I said.
later, he established unlimited combat, rejecting all notions
What you see on TV all over the internet nowadays, that's a clown show. That's a theater, it's a circus. It has nothing to do with natural fighting anyway. It's nothing close to it, but you cannot even defend yourself in 99% of situations.
of honor and fair play in favor of brutal effectiveness.
叫做无限制格斗的防身术。这种防身术招招阴狠毒辣，挖眼睛、咬耳朵、踢下阴，根本不理睬传统的所谓江湖规矩。
His fighting style looks nothing like the martial arts community has ever seen. Nothing that I've ever seen. Instead of elegant stances and flowing movements, Chen would bark loudly, shake uncontrollably, and attack with
All right. Yeah, of course. You go for the weakest parts to defend yourself. The most vulnerable parts.
unpredictable patterns, targeting eyes, throats, and groin. These animalistic, absurd movements and vocalizations
Animalistic. When people say animalistic nowadays, when referring to anything, they really just mean natural. They mean wild. Wild sounds scary to an enslaved, cultivated human being, but in reality, when you look at the word origin, it just means self-willed, meaning that you do what you want to do, meaning that wild, animalistic fighting is you completely doing what you want to do. You see the most vulnerable parts, you see the opponent's weaknesses, and you attack those to defend yourself. That's all that it's about. But nowadays people watch some stupid clown shows, boxing, MMA, absolute joke, just laughable. Get the out with that shit. And then they do that in real life. And when other people do that, maybe it will work, of course. But when you're in an actual situation where you need to defend yourself, which is what he talked about before, then none of that will work. It's useless, completely useless.
Earned his system the nickname Mad Dog Fist. In Chinese, 疯狗拳, a label that he never uses and that may have been given to ridicule it initially, but that would follow him all throughout his controversial career. What they didn't understand yet is that all of it had a purpose. The principle of no principles. Chen's fighting system is built on ideas that horrify traditional martial artists. Honor, dignity. His philosophy is simple.
That's my philosophy. I spit on it.
If you can attack from behind, never confront directly.
Yes, natural behavior. That's what every predator does. If you are in a forest, an animal will only attack you from the back. If they are super hungry and it's the only option, they will come from the front. Then you will see them. Imagine a scenario. Somebody is attacking your mother. Of course, you want to save her. What will you do? Will you go from the front first so that the guy or whoever who is attacking your mother can see you and then defend himself? No, you would never do that. You would go from behind because you want to save your mother. You want to succeed. You want to win. You wouldn't do something so stupid.
You can deceive and ambush, never be forthright and honorable. If you can fight as a group, never fight.
Honor is a religious term. There is no such thing in nature.
Fight alone. If you have a gun, never use a knife. Always use a weapon before empty hands.
Of course, because that's natural. And some people say, but we don't have claws. We don't have any built-in weapons. Who cares? If you follow this logic, then you should also not eat meat, because meat comes from the outside. But what's the only thing that matters? That you want to eat meat. You naturally want to consume animals. This is an inborn need that you have. And it's the same with weapons. You are a thrower. It's just who you are. You cannot change that. Humans hunt by throwing. That's how we fight in the first place. And then if you cannot do that, you do something else. And if you cannot do that, something else, and so on. And the worst thing you could possibly do is punching. Kicking is even better than punching, but punching is the worst. You would never do that. There's just no scenario in nature where you would do that. It's impossible. That's why there's no recorded cases of somebody punching in nature. It's only what modern slaves do.
If you can don't just injure. If you can cause severe injury, never cause minor injury. Chen taught his students to weaponize everything around them. Scissors became his signature weapon. Small enough to carry anywhere, sharp enough to be lethal, yet not classified as a controlled weapon under Chinese law. But his...
Ah, that's interesting. Makes a lot of sense. If you take away the weapons from the people, then they will use what they can use.
Arsenal extends to rulers, pens, triangular drafting tools, wrenches, and kitchen utensils.
这是一把大门钥匙，普通的人拥有它，就相当于苦练30年。
It equals 30 years of training for the one finger punch.
上乘武功，一指禅的硬度。
He trains students in psychological warfare.
This is so absolutely correct. This guy is great.
Spitting in opponents' faces, throwing dirt in their eyes, biting throats if necessary. He explained the barking is to scare opponents, raise your own level of adrenaline, reduce susceptibility to pain, and enter a state of rage required to act immediately. Most people dismiss his methods as disgraceful and primitive thuggery rather than legitimate martial arts. But Chen...
Primitive again just means natural. Everything that's primitive is good. Everything that's primitive is better than anything that's modern. Just everything.
and implemented one absolute rule that would elevate his system beyond mere street fighting. Every student must master Chinese law before learning a single technique. The first textbook is not a martial arts manual. It's the Criminal Code of the People's Republic of China. It's understanding the laws of self-defense.
不要去打架斗殴，一定要在合法的前提下去进行正当防卫或者见义勇为。
And you know what? You can learn his techniques right now as you're watching this video. I'm going to link his training book in the description. It's completely free. Some of it looks like the scribblings of a madman, which it is. He drew this all himself, by the way. But it works. Just watch. The students who made headlines. While most martial arts schools understandably use tournament trophies to display their merit, Chen's unlimited combat became known for something far more consequential. Documented cases of his students who legally killed attackers in self-defense situations. 2001, Chen student Feng was attacked at his rural home by 12 armed assailants. 12. Please get that in your head, okay? 12. These are not fantasy stories. It's documented cases. Employing unlimited combat techniques, Feng killed one attacker, seriously injured two, and sent the remaining 9 fleeing in terror. The Yulin City Police Department ruled it as legitimate self-defense. 2002, Chen student Liu was confronted by 7 men with weapons.
That's very interesting. Huh. I'm not surprised. It's just interesting how even those kind of guys are just not prepared for natural fighting. I'm not going to say that this is 100% natural fighting, but it's way better than anything that I've seen. Wow. I'm impressed, actually.
At the Dongguan train station. 7. Using improvised weapons, he killed 1 attacker and severely wounded 3. The Dongguan prosecutor's office determined his actions were justified self-defense. 2005, Shenzhen.
说到这个深圳梅园路237路的车站上啊，说发生了一起命案。这个死者呀是个小偷，这个死者和他的2个同伙偷人的手机呢。而这个时候有一个叫做罗神贵的人，他看见这情况，是一把就喝止了那3个人。
When the thieves then returned with weapons, he used what? Mad Dog Fist. Resulting in 1 death and 2 severe injuries. Shenzhen's District Public Security Bureau ruled it as self-defense. This particular case received national television coverage, bringing widespread attention to Chen's controversial fighting system. In an interview, he claimed, "I was terrified. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but remembered my teacher's training. Better them than me." But not all stories ended in vindication. Chen's senior disciple Zhang faced 11 armed attackers and successfully neutralized 5. 1 4 injuries. But when he pursued the fleeing attackers like an actual mad dog, he took it too literal, his actions were ruled excessive self-defense, requiring him to pay compensation. He was one of his very first disciples, but Chen expelled him from the school as a reminder to all students, power without restraint leads to punishment, not justice. He's like a real-life Batman.
Of course, not in nature, but in the system, sure.
From outcast to instructor. Despite not being taken seriously in traditional martial arts circles, Chen's pragmatic approach gradually attracted attention from organizations that deal with real-world violence daily. In 2004, Chen was appointed as a special instructor for a prison riot control unit in Zhejiang province, teaching guards how to subdue violent inmates quickly and effectively.
我对这个警文书方面应该说再进行改进一下。我接触过无枪支以后，相对我们无枪支可能要有一段的距离的。
By 2002, the Hangzhou Public Security Bureau invited Chen to appear on a television program teaching taxi drivers and traffic police how to counter robbery attempts. His demonstrations were so intense, with nothing held back, that some viewers filed complaint to the broadcaster.
攻击的时候，这剑可以攻击歹徒的眼睛。
By 2007, Chen's influence had expanded to the military, teaching specialized fighting techniques to a division of the People's Liberation Army. In 2009, Chen reached the pinnacle of his professional recognition when he was appointed as the Anti-Terrorist Special Operations Combat Instructor, that's a mouthful, for the Zhejiang Provincial Armed Police Corps.
对于普通民众来说呢，从我个人角度啊，我这么多年训练的这个经验啊，我觉得陈老师你的914克反击术是非常高效的，应该是。
As I'm sure many of you know, most martial arts like Shaolin Kung Fu, BJJ, they require years and years, decades of dedicated training to get really good on a high level. But unlimited combat is designed for rapid acquisition by ordinary people, regardless of age, size, or physical ability.
我现在才练个7、8天，我就给大家说能不能找个歹徒练练手。
Now, we should take such testimonials with a grain of salt. I, for one, would be very concerned about a false sense of security. That's the thing with self-defense. It's unpredictable. No 2 situations are the same. And if you end up taking more risks in your daily life because you carry scissors and you know how to bark, might not have the intended effect. So this stark contrast reveals a fundamental divide in the Chinese martial arts world, or maybe actually globally. While traditional martial artists condemn his methods as dishonorable, 没有武德, those who face violence professionally, police officers, prison guards, riot control units, military and special operations personnel, embrace the cold, no-nonsense efficiency of his approach. Modern relevancy and controversy. Very few fighting instructors have polarized public opinion in China like Chen Hegao. Following a brutal attack on a woman at a Tangshan restaurant 3 years ago that shocked China, Chen made headlines again by publicly advising people to use broken bottles, scissors, or whatever weapons available in such situations, to not hold back, to fight like an animal.
Yes, naturally, to defend yourself, you would grab anything. And that's the first thing that you should do for self-defense, because using your own body, it will always be not necessarily ineffective, of course, but in comparison, it really is a joke.
His comments sparked criticism from across the martial arts spectrum. Remember Xu Xiaodong? I talked about him before. He's also controversial for exposing fake kung fu masters with real applied combat sports and MMA. Yet even he called Chen a sick person running around with scissors and howling like a mad dog. That's the point, my dude.
我看完之后，很多网友让我评论，我说这有神经病，这是全世界神经病练的拳。
And of course,
That's funny, because it's actually the other way around.
even the Shaolin Temple had to chime in. Buddhist monk Sri and Jia questioned whether Chen's approach could even be classified as martial arts. And I get his confusion. This guy's not even talking about spiritual energy. How is it possible? They labeled his system as Nutbuster for focusing on grown attacks, which is very funny, because what the hell is this then? Huh? What are you guys training for? His unconventional weapons and tactics have been dismissed as low class and without dignity. Now, not unlike most other fake martial arts masters around the world, all the kings of Bullshido, even Chen has consistently refused to participate in challenge matches, stating that his system was designed specifically to counter dangerous criminals, not to compete with other fighters.
My style is too dangerous for fighting.
If I showed you, you'd die. 99% of the time when people say that, it's BS. But if you look through his handbook, his record, his students, the institutions that hire him, he might actually be correct. I'm telling you, this guy is built different. His stuff is different. What is barking like a dog gonna do in an organized match except entertainment? How are you gonna use scissors, throat biting, or whatever this is? He could literally use none of the things he actively teaches. His system is built around the scary, life-threatening event of an attempt on your life and everything that entails in particular.
我练过这些，后来我明白了啊，练这些只能在同一个赛道上进行对抗，而指导歹徒跟我们不是同一个赛道，无法和他进行对抗的。如果你一定想用徒手的功夫去对付那些持刀的歹徒，那么你苦练20年甚至30年，你的成功率啊不会超过1%，剩下的99%。
Exactly. That's exactly right.
就是代表着受伤甚至丢命啊。
Nowadays, Chen has expanded his teaching approach, forming partnerships with law firms to provide even more comprehensive legal education alongside combat training.
第一，对方是不法侵害；第二，对方是正在进行中；第三个，也是重中之重，那就是轻易不要出手。只有对方对我们或者他人的生命的安全造成巨大的威胁时，那么就进行无限反击。
But online, particularly among younger generations, Chen has become something of a folk hero. On Bilibili, China's leading video platform, Chen's instructional videos regularly receive millions of views. People post countless memes, and fan-edited compilations of his techniques often bear provocative titles like Legal Guide to and Judge of the Underworld. That would be a great comic book name for him, huh? Wouldn't that be a beautiful irony? He once tried to learn from comic book heroes, and he became one. Gorgeous. These younger viewers appreciate Chen's rejection of what they see as empty rituals. His emphasis on practical self-defense resonates in a society increasingly concerned with personal safety.
Best fights are the ones we avoid.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. These China videos are so much fun to make, but they're also...
Of course, you avoid any kind of harm anyway. That's animal nature. This is what he was teaching. If you can attack from behind, never confront directly. I already talked about that. If you can deceive an ambush, never be forthright and honorable. If you can fight as a group, never fight alone. Very important, because no animal does that. You can see this in street fights when somebody attacks somebody and the friend wants to defend the one who is being attacked, then everybody else will say, let them fight alone. But it goes against your nature. If you have a gun, never use a knife, of course, common sense. Always use a weapon before empty hands. Should be common sense, but it isn't today. If you can K, don't just injure. Interesting. If you can cause severe injury, never cause minor injury. When facing a challenge, call your friends to arrange an ambush. Fake small talk, then use sand to block, then use weapons to trip and crit. Always fight to K. If you really want to use bare hands to eliminate a criminal, your 20 to 30 years of training will still only give you a 1% chance against someone with a knife. That's what he said before, and that's so incredibly correct. Now I'm going to review the latest fight from the King of the Streets YouTube channel. A subscriber of mine recommended it, but I also wanted to do it because in my video about fighting, I reviewed a short clip from one of the fights of the channel. In that video, nothing happened. I skipped through it all. But some of you said that I should review another video of the channel. A French 24-year-old versus a American 42-year-old. Okay. There's definitely no wild behavior, nothing even close to it. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. This is way closer to actual real fighting. I may have to blur some of this, but he's biting his finger or two fingers. The American has the upper hand here, kind of literally. Interesting. I wouldn't expect this from an American because you would expect them to be even more programmed. Although French people are also very programmed. They didn't used to be. Kind of sad, the downfall of France. I love it. He's reaching for the eyes. What else are you gonna do, really, in this situation? Punching is ineffective in comparison. I love it. I love the American. Okay, this is what I like to see. This is good. Yeah. Okay. And he tapped out. I don't know how much of this I will be blurring. That's why I'm commenting the fight. You're a loser. And he's 42, man. To be fair, he had maybe more mass. You could just tell that the French guy wasn't prepared for it, because the American is experienced. He's 42, maybe he has been doing it for a while. He knows what's effective. Obviously, you cannot do everything in these fights, but compared to boxing, that anyway, but even MMA and all that garbage, this is actually way closer to nature. You can kind of actually do what you want to do. You have the fingers there, of course. What are you gonna do? You will bite the fingers as he did. What else? Médical, médical. Oui, oui, go to the hospital. Okay, I have to say it. I like the guy. That was good. That was good. Yeah. If I could respect any fighters, it would be guys like him. Let's read the comments on this video. You mentioned being 30 kg heavier. Okay, and still have to win with eye gouge. Pathetic. What does it matter how he won? He won. Is it relevant how? But I was right when I thought that he has more mass. But in nature, you cannot choose who's going to attack you. Usually the bigger animals will attack the smaller ones. That's nature. Takes some big balls to fight the Blood Axe, because you know he's coming for your eyes. Respect. That's him, yeah? Well, I don't know who he is, but cool guy as far as I can see. Whatever, French comment. Eric Olsen, the dirtiest KOTS fighter. And that's exactly not the case. He's the cleanest, the most natural one. Probably, I don't know, the other ones. I don't watch this stuff. I never watch this stuff because it's pretty boring. Although these fights are way better than anything that I've seen. I could even understand why people watch this. It's still slave behavior, but it's closer to what you want to see. It's closer to what you would experience yourself, which is why people are attracted to it. No, he's absolutely doing what you should be doing. There's also a lot of limits when it comes to KOTS, but it's not dirty. This is good. Dirty fighting would be punching and kicking. That's the dirtiest way to fight. It's the stupidest, most unnatural way. In nature, you just need to win. There's no such thing as dirty. Finger in die Augen. Also Deutsch zu stecken ist das Feigste, was man einen Gegner antun kann. Was für eine ist das überhaupt? Wow. Ein ehrenloser Hund ist das. Ja, genau. Er ist ein Hund, weil er natürlich ist, du dummer Wick. He said that he's a dog. I should have translated it. He's just saying that he's not fighting clean again, basically. It boils down to the same. Stupid people, man, in the comments. He has never won a fight without picking the opponent in the eye. So who cares? He won. What does it matter how? No, he's the best fighter, maybe. Who knows? Wait. Maybe he's the best fighter that I've ever seen on TV or online. Of course. Yeah, actually. Imagine some loser like Conor McGregor up against him. Zero chance. That's not a fighter. All he can do is stick his finger. They don't even understand what fighting means. Who are these losers who watch these videos? They don't even understand it. That is fighting. If anything, that's fighting. What the French guy did, except for the biting, that's not fighting. The kicking, the punching, that's not fighting. They don't get it. Why keep bringing this guy? Every fight does the same. Really, I should maybe watch more of his fights then. Huh? No one who gets in there is a coward. You could say that, I suppose. If eye poking is allowed, then you know you're going up against someone that's gonna poke your eyes. If you can't stop him from eye poking, that's on you, buddy. Exactly. You go up against him, you want to win. What do you want to do? Only kick and punch? Then go and box. Go and do MMA like all the losers. That's what you should do. If you go there, then expect some more natural so-called techniques. Expect more natural behavior. What is this stupid talk? Man, I can't stand this because this guy actually knows how to fight. Somewhat at least anyway. F all of these people, man. They don't even know what the fuck they are talking about. I'm not taking any of this seriously. All that matters in nature is that you win. How you win is irrelevant. These slaves talk about rules, honor, religious beliefs. What does any of this have to do with fighting? They call him a dirty fighter, but they would also call the earth dirty because their slave minds are upside down. They would call you dirty if they would see that there's some earth on you, even though in reality you would be cleaner than anybody around you. And that's why when they see natural fighting or something close to it, they automatically, because of the severe brainwashing, call it dirty. Does it matter how you achieve something, or does the achievement matter? If you are the last one standing and your opponent is on the ground, does it matter how you achieve that? Maybe if you're completely programmed, but in nature, your family will be celebrating. You will be the winners, and you will laugh at the losers. Will it matter to you how you won? No. Thanks for watching.